Hi, good morning, one and all. Today we can discuss about arthropoda subphylums. The first subphylum is the trilobita. Tri means three. Here, for the trilobita organisms, they are the extinct one. Extinct means now present that organisms is not there, and it is the marine type of habitat. Here, body is divided into median and two lateral lobes. This is median lobe and this is two lateral lobes. It will be divided into three lobes by the presence of two longitudinal furrows. That's why the body is divided into three lobes. That's why this subphylum is called as a trilobita. The best example of the trilobita organisms is the Trianthus. Now this present organisms is not there. Now we can go for the very important subphylum, that is the Chelicerata. Here in Chelicerata organisms, the body they can be divided into anterior side and posterior side. Anterior, it means front side. Anterior having how many segments is there? 6 segments is present. That anterior 6 segments is called as a cephalothorax, or also called as a prosoma. Pro means anterior, soma means body. That's why it is called as a prosoma. And posterior, how many segments is there? 13 segments. 6 segments plus 13 segments, totally how many segments is called? 19 segments is present. That's why here this posterior one is called as a abdomen, or also called as opistosoma. Opisto indicates posterior, soma indicates body, posterior body. Now this opistosoma again divided into two parts. It means that the 13 segments also divided into two parts. One is the mesosoma, middle part. Another one is the metasoma, last posterior part. Now why this subphylum is called as a Chelicerae means here the modified feeding structure is there. That modified feeding structure is called as a Chelicerae. That's why it is called as a Chelicerata. Now first we can go for the anterior 6 segments is called as what? Prosoma. Prosoma bears 6 pairs of appendages. What is meant by appendages means, now this one is the segments. From the segments, if a organ is arises, that is called as a appendages. That's why they having how many pairs of appendages? 6 pairs of appendages. Among the 6 segments, first pair is modified into feeding part. This is useful for the feeding, for eating purpose. Antenna and jaw are absent. Antenna means, suppose if you go for the, if you see the prawns, they having a long thread-like structures is there. That is called as an antenna. Now for these organisms, Chelicerata organisms, antenna and jaw are absent. I already said last class, respiratory organs, either they having a book gills, either they having a book lungs, either they having a trachea. Now first we can go for the, in Chelicerata, the first class is the Xiphozoa. Now here Xiphozoa. See, that's why subphylum Chelicerata having two classes. The first class is the Xiphozoa. I already said the first anterior part is called as what? Prosoma. Prosoma having how many segments? 6 segments. See, in this Xiphozoa organisms, they are the marine organisms. The respiration is the branchial respiration. What is meant by branchial respiration? It means when the respiration is takes place through gills, that respiration is called as a branchial respiration. In this Xiphozoa class, some organisms is extinct, present not there. Some organisms is extant, it means they having a organism present. Now suppose if you go for the anterior one, this is called as a prosoma. Prosoma is covered by a See, covered by a proteinaceous layer. This proteinaceous layer is called as a carapace. Okay, now I already said in prosoma the first pair bears what? Chelicerae, that is what? A feeding purpose. Out of 6, first segment is over. The next 4 segments having a 4 pairs of walking legs. This is 4 pairs of walking legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pairs of walking legs. And first pair is the chelicerae. Totally 5 segments is over. The next 6th segment they having a pushing legs. When this legs is pushed, the organism can be moved forward. That's why in prosoma totally 6 segments is completed. Next we can come to the opistosoma. Opistosoma can be classified into what? 2. One is the mesosoma, another one is the metasoma. Okay. Now in mesosoma, the first segment they having what? Genital operculum for reproduction purpose. Okay, now see here I write here in mesosoma bears how many pairs of appendages? 6 pairs of appendages. Here also 6 pairs of appendages. Out of 6, first pair they having a genital operculum. The next 5 pairs everything is fuses. They can form what? Book gills. It is useful for the respiration. The last one is what? Metasoma. They can be modified into telson. What is telson? Telson is a tail like structure. Okay, that's why the metasoma ends in the telson. Here they having a larva. That larva is called as a trilobite larva. Here, the best example for the Xiphosaura, very important. Limulus is commonly called as a king crab and also it is called as a living fossil. Why it is called as a living fossil means previous generation that organisms is extinct. Suddenly, if that characters is reappear, that is called as a living fossil. Okay. Next, we can go for the another class, that is a arachnida. See, the arachnida best example is the scorpion. It is a terrestrial one. Prosoma same as that of Xiphosaura. First pair they having a chelicerae. Next pair they having a pedipalps. 4 pairs they having a walking legs. There is no pushing legs. See here, this is, you can observe the scorpion. I already sent a pic for you. See that pic properly. This first pair it is a chelicerae. This is a pedipalps. You can observe the scorpion for biting, pedipalps, and remaining they having a walking legs. Totally 6 segments is completed. Now if you go for the opistosoma, in opistosoma mesosomes having a book lungs. If you observe Xiphosaura, they having a book gills is present, and metasoma they having what? Telson. But this metasoma they having a spirnet they having a poisonous glands is present. That's why see here the mesosoma they having a book lungs and metasoma they having a spirnets. Book lungs for the scorpion and the trachea for some of the spiders. Scorpions is under the arachnida, and the respiratory pigment they having a calcium containing one, that is called as a hemocyanin. For us they having a hemoglobin. And excretory organs they having a Malpighian tubules and also they having a coxal glands. Scorpion are viviparous. What is mean by viviparous means the organisms they can give directly young ones, babies. That nature is called as a viviparous. For us we are also viviparous nature. The best example is the Pelamnius. Pelamnius is commonly called as a scorpion. And another example is the Arania. Arania is also commonly called as a spider. Tomorrow we can discuss about another subphylum.